Hello guys, welcome to a new video. And uh yeah, I apologize if this video gets delayed to you guys, but I want to sort out a sort of a topic for every video I make. And for this time, I find that you have to always kind of research into your opponents. And the things you may find may not be true. Like, for example, now we look at Danvili from France. You know, the French people can be very impulsive. And we just look at his account. So it's made on 11th of September 2023. Usually there are like a lot of things here, like Blitz, Rapid, and then we can guess how he plays. But I feel like Danvili is a Smurf account. This is assuming because it's a new account. He's already 1600, which is really, really very fucking fast. Oops. And what's also the case is that he only plays rapid. So I have this feeling that this is a Smurf account. I feel like the playing strength is probably a lot higher. And with that in mind, I'll try to play this game. So we have a Vienna game. It's a main line. We have to go d5 here. Don't ask me why. I'm not a GM. But if not, if you play something passive like d6, uh, they potentially have f5, overtaking the king side, or even takes, and then they have the open f line. White has an easy time just developing, and yes, you also have the open f line here, but now it's different. Why is it different, you ask? Because now our knight is here. And in the line where we play d6, our knight is still here and not so active. So he plays knight f3, defending the pawn, d4, control. Maybe this is coming. Yeah. So I propose to play a rather simple move here. Or yeah, I just want to play knight out, develop the knight. Knights before bishops. We are still in the opening, we should just develop our pieces, right? Maybe bishop e7, maybe bishop c5, and then we castle. Bishop c5 seems really logical, but then we walk into d4. And if he counts, the many times we can do this, I think white, the many times we can take, I think white just is up a piece. And especially now with the bishop on b4, pinning the knights, I don't think it's a wise decision to go for that. So let's go ahead and put the bishop on e7 instead. We can also opt to play it on b4, which is a bit more active. I like the move e7. It's not the most active move. It might not be the most accurate move. It develops a piece. It's better here than here. So he castles. All right. Let's do the same. I think the bishop belongs either here or here. Not quite sure which one is which yet. This knight is now no longer pinned and could potentially take here. Yeah. And we could play a6, although I'm not sure about that move. Plays d3. Let's take here and ruin his pawn structure a bit. Sure, that makes sense. Now we could potentially go here and then target this thing here. Let's try to be active. I'm expecting takes. We have a threat on the board at the very least. And we have almost fully developed all our pieces. The only thing remaining is to connect the rooks by moving up the queen. But no rush. No rush. Our king is safe. Alright. Defends it. That's a good move. That's a good move. Yeah. Let's go knight a5 here. Blunt the bishop. c6. Preparing. And maybe going knight c5. And from what I can see, um, my observation of this is a Smurf does feel a little bit true. Although I feel like he's more in the 1800, 1900 range, and he's just here to have an easy game, basically. Why do I say this? I really feel like there are very little mistakes from White's perspective. It's very none to no inaccuracies and just really good play. Or I'm just really tired because I just come back from a little chess tournament here in the Netherlands. But let's not ramble on too much about life. I want to put my knight on c4, but at the same time he can just take. And what do we have? He has a good sender. Yeah, opponent is playing really good chess. We might have this, but again, he doesn't have to take. But then we might have c4 as well. Yeah, it's not so clear what both sides should do here. It's not clear what both sides should do. I think he wants to go here, or he wants to go here. Let's go ahead and play c5. I am not sure what to do. Idea c4 and completely blown this bishop. So we do have a threat. We play with an idea. So at least we have something going for ourselves. If it takes, the pawn structure is just awful and you can just retake. So there I feel very comfortable. The bishop does have an outpost here on b4. He decides to take. Let's take with check. Bishop there. That makes sense. And we could just take and take, but we could also play it slow and go here, perhaps. And if after takes, we are targeting this one as well. So I feel like this is a good move. Connecting the rooks, we don't have to take. Take doesn't really have a very good advantage. We actually activate the queen even more. So this makes sense to me. I just played it, so it should make sense to me. B6 is also a move, but let's wait what our opponent comes up with. And now if takes, now we can just take here. For example, this is already a improved line of what we previously saw. And here, I guess we can just take and take here. Although he has this check, which is actually quite annoying. So maybe not. Maybe we can also play this. Yeah, it's actually not so easy to come up with something here. Let's defend it again. Twice attack, twice defended. And now after takes here and a check, the queen is defended. So that makes sense to me. Maybe takes and then this was made more sense, but this is, I think, also fine. And we kind of know that the light square bishop will remain there. Okay, this I didn't see. So that gives up some good indication, something, maybe. Okay, let's go knight here, maybe. There's not this, because then I can just take, and then it takes. I can take here. Yeah, I feel like knight c6 is the move. Okay, there's queen here. But then we just take. There's knight b5, and then takes, take, take. Interesting. So knight b5 was not calculated, but does not work. Interestingly enough. Plays this instead. Very interesting move. Now we could take here. He takes here, and then we take here. It's a line. Could also take here. He takes here. We take here. He takes here. Takes, takes. he cannot take actually because he has to take like this. Takes, takes, takes. This is pinned, so he has to retake with this. This would check. Yeah, if it's the only I only see good lines here. So maybe we have a better position. If it takes, we have takes. Yeah, I hope everything's working in our favor. But definitely not easy to convert here. By the way, if you're wondering why the hell is it so dark there when it's because I want it to be dark. I like the darkness. So, yeah, there you go. That's my answer. Funnily enough, after takes, you have this intermezzo move, check, but not now, because here I can take, take, bishop takes, and after he goes back, oh wait, after you go away, if I take, there was something very interesting happening there. All right, so here, I don't know, I don't think there's anything going on, so I'll just um, take with the knight, or should we take with the bishop? Rook e1, let's stick with the bishop, I'm not sure. There's rook e1. Okay, he just takes. Let's stick with the queen, if that makes any sense. Because we are up 2 pawns. We can also take with this. Rook e1. Nah, it doesn't feel good. Let's stick with the queen. And yes, we are up 2 pawns, but there's still an attack looming here, so we have to be careful here. You have to be careful. For example, this. Maybe this. No, doesn't really work. Rook e1. It does go for it. Only move, I think. Maybe queen g7 to just defend. Or even queen e5. I want to kind of attack and defend at the same time, but opponent makes it quite difficult. Okay, he goes there. He's attacking this pawn. I think we should um takes. Take. Okay, that feels kind of okay. We also have this, by the way, attacking this and this at the same time. This looks like a very juicy move. We can lose this. It's fine. We can just take here. Okay, one. Yeah. Check here. And yeah, this is definitely busted. This definitely feels busted. This definitely feels a bit busted. All right. So the only thing we have to really be careful about is this thing here. I'm expecting a rook here. Here. If takes, go here. If he goes back, well, that's that. He doesn't. So we could either try to push this one up. We have a more active position. That's for one, even though we lost some pawns. We can try to go up. We can also try to get this pawn up. But I feel like this is the way to go. If here, we just go here. And at some point, there has to be something, I feel. For example, here in this line, pawn is hanging. So you cannot defend everything. And this pawn can just then move forward. So let's say rook e1, queen e2. This one has to defend it. So then we can take, for example. So we could take. After takes, it's kind of hard to find the continuation, but we also attack a queen. So the queen has to move first. The queen has to move first. And then we can decide, do we try to maintain this pawn or do we not? Since we're up 2 pawns, but in the resulting position we don't, I think we'll go for this position. This rook is undefended. We have to be aware of that, at the very least. Let's go here. Defend this. This is still okay. This is nothing going on here either. So he goes back. Not really threatening anything. Well, actually, he's threatening a pawn. Here takes, push. We do get those free tempi. We do get those free tempi. So take here, here. Yeah, it's already difficult for him to defend in the position. Here. Okay, let's go for it. I don't see the danger in taking here. Let's gain the pawn. But we gain more and more time. Goes there. Attacks this. It's a good move. We'll just sidestep it for now. And set up this battery of swords. Opponent is also getting a bit lower in time, which is nice. So we get to think a little bit more about their moves. But our task is far from easy, or has been far from easy. So we've lost this pawn, but we gained a very, very strong pawn now on d3. And this pawn is far more valuable than this h6 pawn. So I defends in this way, which makes sense. Which does make sense. We could try to promote, but after takes, promote, it just retakes. Could also go here. After takes, we could take with the queen, and then promote. I think everything is kind of winning, although I'm not really sure. Let's just go rook c2. If takes, takes, and then we try to push this one. No way, yes. We're still defending this rook. The rook is not even attacked. This pawn is nicely guided. Our opponent gives up, and I think rightly so, because after takes, takes. How does black defend this? So yeah, pretty nice game. I think we played this to quite a good level. I'm quite wondering what our accuracy was during that game. 84%, which is decent, not the best. Let's have a look. So there's a game started at with e4, e5, knight c3, starting the Vienna game, knight f6, and f4. If black decides to be passive here and plays d6, and this is just knight f3, but you can imagine the scenario where white gets very easy development. I don't think this is a good move. And black is just stuck in the middle. Look at this rook, look at this bishop, this knight is maybe going to g5, you can maybe play, I don't know, if black is very slow, d3, knight g5, okay, I think white has a pleasant position here. That's how I know the Vienna to be. D6 is apparently fine, but um, what we played is d5, by far the best line, and after takes, knight f3, we played knight a6, bishop e7, seemingly the best move. Knight c6 first. Nothing wrong with the move. Bishop e5, bishop e7, castles, castles, d3, takes, takes. So black is essentially better on the long term because of this static advantage. We have a very good pawn structure. White, on the other hand, is debatable if and only if black, I guess, gets a d4 in. Not now, obviously, because this is just takeable. After takes, you just gain a solid pawn. But if this pawn is not retakeable, no, I'm not so sure actually. I'm just blurring nonsense. So bishop g4, d4, and essentially white has solved all his problems. That's at least what I thought. Now I see f6. It does make a lot of sense. And now if white doesn't do anything, we are breaking the pawn structure. This is really bad. Yes, okay, this is bad because of the tactic. Um, but also just in general, it's bad. Well, we just get immediate compensation for it as well. All right, f6 best move. We missed this move and played knight a5 instead. Idea being maybe going to here, maybe playing c6. He plays this voluntarily and we go after h6, essentially saying we don't know what we're doing, but we're still improving the position. Play c5, takes, bishop here, and now we play with the tension. Now we play with the tension. We go queen c7, queen b6. Similar move, similar idea. Here, and I keep the tension with rook ac1, rook ac8, sorry. And after knight here, I missed this move, but we went knight c6 back. I think what best was suited was takes, and now we go rook here, which makes a lot more sense. Because in this scenario, we can just take here or here. My plan was to take here. Probably better was to take here because we don't lose the pawn. You gotta deal with the queen having a new position. But then things would be a lot easier. Yeah, so knight back, queen f4. Here we decided to take here, and everything here is losing. The most interesting line was knight takes on c6, to which we would play this. Oh, wait. My idea was to take here, and after takes like this, check, king here. If you take here, I thought he had this check, king h8, and after takes, over up piece. Yeah, but I thought this was the most interesting. But I also, yeah, bishop here and takes is also just that winning, that loss for whites. So the complications, yeah, were heavy. Our opponent suffered from those and we took here as well. 95, apparently the best move. Because if you go queen g6, we just take. And then we just... Okay, we slowly play this out because of the weaknesses. The static weaknesses are so bad that white could play this out. Black could play this out with these long-term problems. And yeah, after takes, we took with the queen. I don't think taking with the knight is handy because of rook ac1, and we actually lose the game on the spot. You just take on d4 and you're up a piece. So don't make that mistake. And we play g6 here, only move because he's threatening mates. And 95. First we want to play knight b4, but it's always nice to check the counter move. This for both your opponent and yourself. Often the knight is so tricky that even you get tricked yourself. So when you check this, attacking this, also check this, which attack this, if you know what I mean. Imagine a scenario where your knight is here, and what's handy here is that you check here. You know, if the queen and rook are lined up, but also check here, right? Or check here, which also attack this. But this is what I mean with the counter threat. The same threat with a different move. You found the best move. And again, apparently we should not take him to just play knight g4, threatening something here. If white isn't careful, there's actually a nice mating pattern on the board. But after knight takes on d3, queen takes d3, we actually... Oh, I thought we were dead winning, but actually it wasn't the case. We had a small advantage in the endgame. We went for this here. Here we took, because we are attacking a queen, which I later found out. Queen right there. We defend the pawn, which is our advantage. And here we decide to offer a queen trade. It's annoying. And here we spotted the threats, but we also saw that in our plan, we could sack this pawn and gain 10p by pushing our pawn, which is apparently correct. And after rook c2, we are definitely winning the game. Only move that wins. Very nice. Reason being, here I have no clue, but I'm assuming we just push somewhere like this. Apparently not good, but imagine he's not doing anything. Push again. And we can play something like this. First, we have to defend it. And then we can play this. Takes, takes, takes. That's winning. I don't want to get back to the position because apparently my sloppiness got the better of me. And I thought we could just um, slowly push this out. After this, there's queen d5. Is there queen d5? Because I can still push here. And after any move, let's pick the best one. Huh. Yeah, okay. And if I play this, you always have some checks, right? So queen c4, only move? What? Takes. And after this, attacking this twice. Rook e4, turning this. And if you take here, I just take. And this is mate. Wow. So, not sloppy apparently, but there is a sequence you have to find. Okay, cool. We found this move. So we didn't have to. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time, hopefully with more light.